Hello everyone. So we have a little exercise here where you have to identify the tenses I put here, use the infinitives I put between brackets and translate that into French. I also want you to use the pronouns and here I specified the tense to make sure you don't use the perfect tense instead of the past historic. It's intermediate, so I haven't made it tricky. They are all regular verbs. There's no reflexive, no Vandertramps, no irregulars, unless I put one by accident, but I really don't think so. So pause the video, take your time. I'll mark in 5 seconds. And let's go. I am traveling, so that's your present tense. If you are traveling, it's happening now. So present tense. You take off, and I start with a spelling mistake, covering it up nicely. So you take off the ER and you put an E and that's it. I am traveling, that also translates into I travel. She has heard, that's a perfect tense. So she here she has the present of the verb to have with L, it's ha, sorry, I don't know why I put an H here, elle a, and then for RE verbs, you take off the RE and you put a U. Elle a entendu, she has heard, which also translates into she heard. So in English, you could spare the has, in French, you can't. They are going to write. They are going. I don't mind if you use il or elle. It won't change anything to the ending, so that doesn't matter. Ils are going. That's the verb to go in the present tense, so ils vont. And then to write, that's exactly what you have between brackets, so all you have to do is copy it. Ils vont écrire. You will lift. That's your simple future by opposition to this one, which was the near future. So number 4, simple future. The rule says, so here I want to, so that's what you use. And the rule says for ER verbs, copy your infinitive and add the simple future ending for to, which is AS, tu soulèveras. Then we have a conditional. We would answer with nous. So, nous. I have an RE verb. So in the conditional, I need to get rid of the E at the end. So I copy the infinitive without that E. And it's always a nightmare to pronounce, but the ending for nous in the conditional is IONS. So that sounds like nous répondrions. I insisted on it, but if I don't, that sounds like nous répondrions. But you need to hear that I or E if you don't pronounce it in French. You used to invest. That's we're entering the GCSE part now. So if you're not a GCSE student, you should stop. And number 6, we have an imperfect here. So I'm going to start here because I need to put this verb in the new form of the present tense, and it's an IR verb. So I take off the IR, put ISSONS. That's the only trick I ever put in those intermediate exercises. It's to put an IR verb in the imperfect, because I know some of you will forget the ISS. So get rid of on, get rid of nous. And here you want the pronoun vous, so that's what you put. And you use that stem you have just found. And then the ending for vous in the imperfect, I actually need to think about it. Vous investissiez, that's I-E-Z. I hope I'm right. I have a doubt. Vous investissiez. No, that sounds like an imperfect. We're good. Then we have I had given back. It's not I have given back. So that's a pluperfect. And I had, that part here, so your auxiliary needs to be in the imperfect. I had, using the imperfect, it's j'avais. and then given back, which is the verb rendre. That's your ordinary, normal, regular past participle. So you take off the RE, put a U instead. J'avais rendu, I had given back. After having revised, that's your perfect infinitive. So after, après. Having, that's your infinitive, avoir. And then, réviser, you need to change that infinitive into a past participle. So take off the ER, put an E accent, après avoir révisé. That's your translation. By reflecting, which is a present participle. So for this tense, you also need to use to start with the new form of the present tense. So let's go. Guess what? It's an IR verb. So you take off, damn it, you take off the I, R, and then you put ISS, ONS. I didn't stop at the right time. Take off ONS, take off nous. And then by is translated by en. Then you use that stem you have just found like that, and you put your ANT by reflecting, en réfléchissant, which is a bit hard probably to pronounce. Seize, number 10, it's an imperative. You're giving an order here. I hope you spotted that. So I need that. I don't mind if you did only one. I don't mind if you did two, but you can use the tu form or the vous form. I'm going to do both. So you need to put that tense in the tu form with the present tense, but you don't need the to because you're giving an order. You don't say you seize, you just say seize. So the rule for the present tense is get rid of IR, put the ending for to in the present, which is IS. There you go. And if you want the vous form, you do exactly the same. Get rid of the IR, but the ending becomes ISSEZ. Saisi, saisissez. Gosh, that's a beautiful alliteration. Then number 11, that's a subjunctive. This tells you that it is one, and when you see that, you should know that it's a subjunctive. It is possible, il est possible, but I'm not going to bother writing that, sorry. I want to focus on that. That I act. That is que. I is je, but I have vowel here, so I have to anticipate that. Apostrophe. And I need to put this verb in the they form of the present tense, so that's il. Get rid of IR, put ISSENT, cross ENT, cross they, you have your stem that you copy here, and then all you have to do is put the I at the end. Que j'agisse, I don't know what, yeah, that's a lot of IR verb and is everywhere. Sorry, that's a bit much now, even for me. And that's it for GCSE. If you reached the subjunctive, you can stop here. I'm moving on to the A-level tenses. So he walked in the past historic. Il walked. You get rid of the ER and you put the past historic ending for il, which is simply a. Il marcha. It really sounds weird each time, even for me. We will have eaten, so that's your future perfect. So you need to translate that first. We will have. I haven't specified here, so I'll have to do both, on and nous. So we will have eaten, on aura, and then you put your past participle, take off the ER, put an E accent, and if you did the nous form, nous aurons, and I'm running out of space, manger, same past participle, obviously, the only thing that changes is the auxiliary. She would have called, which is your conditional perfect. So, elle, then that's the bit in the conditional. So you want the verb to have in the conditional. You should know it's an irregular, so you basically have to know it off by heart. elle aurait, and then that infinitive will turn into a past participle. Elle aurait téléphoné. Same drill as usual. Take off the ER, put an E accent. I'm checking if everything is right. On aura mangé, nous aurons mangé. Yeah, elle aurait téléphoné. Yeah, that all sounds good. Even I have my doubts. Sorry. And the last one, number 15, is a passive voice. And I did it like that to try and confuse you a bit between she has heard and she is heard. So, she is heard. She is. That's in the present, by the way, that passive voice. So, she is. Elle est. Then you heard is actually the same here. You need your past participle. So follow the same rule as usual. Take off the RE, put a U instead, and I jumped a step here. And because it's elle, you need to agree that past participle with the subject. Therefore, you need to put an E at the end. And if you have everything correct, that's actually quite an achievement. So well done, guys. If you made any mistakes, just make sure you understand why you got it wrong, and that's good enough for me. Have a nice day, guys. See you.